Well, Sub-Saharan Africa's electrical capacity is far below what you might see in many other parts of the world. The region's power sector is significantly underdeveloped, but it also has potential to boost its power generation capacity. It's one reason why there is now a push to electrify the continent and take power beyond the cities. In part one of our series, Empowering Africa, VOA senior analyst Jeffrey Young speaks with the economists and others about why the region remains underpowered.
In the cities of Sub-Saharan Africa, there's electricity, although too frequently it's not reliable. But outside of the cities, there's often no electricity, unless the power comes from a portable generator. Overall, Sub-Saharan Africa's electrification is far behind other parts of the world. In a 2016 report, the World Bank said that only 42% of the continent has power. A major reason? Money. An Africa economist for the World Bank, Michael Toman, explains.
Countries that have low incomes, as do many of the countries in Sub-Saharan Africa, simply have a difficulty in finding the finance, either their own or private investment, that can come in and deliver on that.
The World Bank report spotlights the gap between urban electrification, roughly 71%, versus 22% in the region's rural areas. And planning is needed today to anticipate the needs of Africa tomorrow. World Bank Africa economist Musa Blimpo.
It's a very long-term investment. Some of these areas that we are talking about today that are not densely populated, we don't know how they will look like 25 years down the road, right? So the investment of electrification shouldn't be based purely on how places and things look like today.
In North America and many other regions, electric power typically comes from private companies, and there can be competition among them for customers. But much of Africa's power comes from governments and state-owned enterprises, which an energy analyst for the aid group Oxfam says is often at the core of the problem, as Sasanka Thalakasiri told VOA.
The state-based utilities are a critical actor in this. And again, unfortunately, in the African context, they are subject to a lot of misuse, a lot of technical losses. They lack capacity. There's sometimes corruption issues involved with some of the utilities.
Some state-owned utilities manipulate the market to prevent competition, which distorts revenue, and that discourages the entry of competition, according via Skype to University of California, Berkeley energy specialist Daniel Kamen.
The state controls the situation so that tariffs are set to exclude new players, innovation is slow, and the utilities that exist generally can't collect the revenues that they should be getting, so they're not financially stable.
But the cost of expanding grids to rural areas can make electricity too expensive once villages are wired. Speaking via Skype, solutions are offered by University of KwaZulu-Natal economist Gerard Boyce.
In this case, it would be a case for subsidizing electricity and waiting until the market matures. And as the market matures, then you will introduce more competition, and the price would actually the price would then rise up to the market or the competitive price.
Next on Empowering Africa, the discussion continues, including a look at the U.S. Power Africa program. Jeffrey Young, VOA News, Washington.
Well, on Tuesday's part two of Empowering Africa, fully electrifying Sub-Saharan Africa is a daunting challenge, but along with the traditional solutions of building and running a vast nationwide electrical grid, there are new solutions for villages and other small areas. VOA senior analyst Jeffrey Young will describe the options available for providing electrical services across the continent.